According to this Redditor, mortality rates in Tsarist quote-unquote gulags were much higher than in Soviet ones, suggesting the Russian Empire was far more brutal than the USSR. But how true is that? First, gulags as we know them were a Soviet creation. What the Redditor is likely referring to is the Tsarist katorga system, a form of penal labor. The problem is that precise mortality data for imperial prisons is scarce or non-existent. Records are fragmentary at best, unlike the Soviet gulags, which were comparatively well documented. Scale is another key difference. Katorga sentences were rare and usually reserved for serious crimes. By the late imperial period, the katorga population was in the tens of thousands, compared to the millions who passed through Soviet camps. Far more common in the empire was exile to Siberia, where prisoners even received a state allowance for food, clothing and rent. Lenin himself traveled there first class and had enough to hire a maid. In contrast, under the Soviets, gulags quickly became the default punishment. So you would have to do something particularly horrible to end up with a katorga sentence. This makes simple mortality rate comparisons misleading. The scale and likelihood of being sentenced were fundamentally different between the Tsarist katorga and Soviet gulags. Absolute numbers would have been more useful in this case.